Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aloha Deep Dive Podcast, the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. I am John Watts, your host, along with Brad Cook, and today we've got two guests with us, and the topic is hot tubs. You want to introduce our guest, Brad?
Yeah, I've got Chaco Hill. He works out of the Union City office. He is a project coordinator, a.k.a. PC. And I got Jake Greer from the Jonesboro office, and he's a service technician. And I have to say that every Christmas party, every year we have a Christmas party, and at the Christmas party, somebody is, prior to the Christmas party, is voted in as Mr. Aloha. And Chaco is a one-time winner of the Mr. Aloha prestigious award. And this guy, Jake, is a two-time winner. We only have one two-time winner of Mr. Aloha, and you're looking at him right here.
Year.
And part of that honor is you're voted on by your peers, or you're voted for by your peers, and it has a lot to do with your accomplishments through the year, the respect that you have from all your fellow Alohians, as we call each other. And these guys just happen to have, in their own departments, Chaco in construction, he has more five-star reviews than anyone in the construction department in the history of Aloha construction.
Wow.
As does Jake Greer. He has more five-star reviews than anyone in the service department. So I can't thank these guys enough.
You guys gone head-to-head on that to see who's got the most stars, period?
Actually, I don't think it's a fair contest because Jake is in about 10 yards a day, 10 different customers, right. And Chaco has about 60 to 70 opportunities a year.
Gotcha.
So he has more opportunities in a week than
not the same job to go head-to-head.
Right. So that's right. Yeah.
And you're not wearing your sashes or your tiaras today just for the cameras. We should have had you.
Well, if I'd have known we were going to be talking about Mr. Aloha, I would have brought my crown from the year that I got it.
Just a side note, yep.
Yeah.
So, good to go. So the topic today being hot tubs and just going into that. You're both hot tub owners?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See, we use what we sell here. And
absolutely.
So tell me about your hot tub and your experience with the hot tub, Chaco.
Back up, because when you were telling the story the other day, you were talking about you wanted one and maybe Karen didn't or didn't know if you would use it and all that. And so, and I'll back up a little further.
Sure.
And Jake, you might have when did you get your hot tub?
2023.
Okay, so it wasn't a part of this program, but last year we got a program where our people could purchase at a discount and even probably financing, zero interest financing. They could purchase the hot tub from us and use it. And I think Chaco was interested and take us from there. You said Karen.
Yes, when the wellness program became available last year, I was excited because I'd always wanted a hot tub. And I've been a pool owner for about my 9th year, always wanted a hot tub. And Karen, she wanted one, but she's like, we can't afford it. So when this wellness program was made available to us last year, I had mentioned it to her, and she wasn't 100% on board. And we actually got it last year about April. I think April 31st is when we finally got it installed. And probably used it, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 times before the summer. Then the summer got here, and we started, using the pool. And now the kids and the grandkids got in it, and we didn't really use it a lot throughout the summer because we were swimming.
Right.
But this year, I have found that in the colder weather, when it's 20 degrees outside and 15 degrees outside, there is nothing more awesome than getting in that hot tub, because when you're laying in this thing, It's just the mist is coming off the water, and you can't tell that it's 20 degrees outside. And that's when Karen fell in love with it. We have used it more since this cold snap has hit. I mean, she's in it almost every other night.
Yeah.
We spent Christmas night watching It's a Wonderful Life in it. It was just it's been amazing.
That's good.
Very therapeutic. She came in. My wife is a teacher, and she also cleans at the high school and middle school on the side. And she came in last night, and when she comes in and she's, been cleaning, mopping, and all those type things, she needs some therapy, and that's her therapy, and she absolutely loves it now.
Yeah.
It is. We're really enjoying it.
Well, did you see? It's a Wonderful Life. It kind of touches. Did you? So, do you sitting in the hot tub crying, or did you?
Well, no, I wasn't crying because I don't get emotional in movies or anything like that.
I don't know what it is, man. I lose it there on that.
I've never actually sat and watched the whole movie. I've always
Really?
caught snippets of it, during the Christmas holidays, but I have never seen it. And Karen's like, "You're crazy. Why have you never watched this?" And so she put it on out there, and we sat out there and watched it from start to finish. And
You watched the whole thing
The whole
finally.
thing.
Gotcha.
Oh, you watched the whole thing in the
whole
hot tub?
movie in the hot tub, yeah.
gee. Wow.
And it's a great. I mean, I knew it was a great movie, but I'm not into black and white flicks, all that old.
They have a color version.
Well,
I saw it in theaters.
We watched the black and white one, and it was delightful. It was very good. But I did not cry.
Well, you know what? We tried to watch it this year. It's a little bit of a tangent if this needs to be edited out. But we tried to watch it this year, and I was like, I don't really have it. But then this freaking Family Stone. Then I watched it, and it replaced my It's a Wonderful Life crying movie. Like, oh my gosh, you ever seen that? Mm-mm. It's good. It's funny, and it's
A tearjerker.
It's just I don't know. Something's going on with me in my older age.
Now I cried watching The Green Mile. I cried watching that. That
There you
was a sad movie. That one got me. And
Like the drink, only spelt different.
yeah,
Yeah,
Great movie.
That is a great movie,
Yeah.
and that one definitely is a tearjerker too. That It's a Wonderful Life it's probably one of my top 3 films, and it is one of those things that every time, it's a very manly cry. It's not like an ugly cry. This is one of those where you have the solitary tear, maybe 2 tears, come down and you just kind of look off into the distance, very, very iconically just.
Yeah, I'm glad all that's over. I have to tell you, I'm glad for the new year. Wow. I love it, but it's just that emotion. I'm like, come on, get a hold of yourself, bro.
Man, this year went by fast.
It was a long break.
Yeah,
It was you mean the whole year?
the whole year.
2025, yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps
So,
getting faster.
You said you were watching the movie outside. Tell me about your setup and where it's at, because everybody puts their hot tub in different places. What's yours look like? I'm envisioning
So
in my
we
head.
have a covered patio area, and we have a television back there. I don't know what side. Pretty big TV back there on the wall for the kids and the grandkids. Whenever they get out of the pool, they can watch Dora the Explorer and all that stuff when they're tired and fussy and don't want to be in the pool. And so that's kind of where we camped the hot tub out. I was going to put it out in the yard. I was actually going to pour a spa pad out past the pool. And me and my wife got to talking about, she wanted it there, so that's where it ended up. Right. I wanted to actually move it out further, and she was like, "No, I want it over here."
Well, that sounds like it's time for a second hot tub. That way you don't have to.
Absolutely not.
You just have one in each.
And actually, the very best time to be in it is when it's actively raining outside.
Oh, yeah.
Underneath that awning, and it's cold.
Okay, I can see that.
That is exotic. I'll put it like that.
To me, it is a battle for me. I've had my last couple of hot tubs inside, but if you ever sit outside and on a clear night and look at the stars in the sky, it's like, and then you've got your endorphins kicking because you're in this hot water and you're sitting
Last
around
night was
thinking,
beautiful.
wow,
We had a full moon, and I took this picture on my phone last night of the moon, and right directly across the room, I don't know if it from the moon, not the room, there was like a rainbow at night. It was the weirdest thing I've ever saw. As me and Karen were getting out of the hot tub last night, and I looked, we were drying off, and I said, "Look at that over there." And just off in the distance, and I guess it was just cloud patterns and maybe moisture in there that was forming the rainbow look at night. I've never seen that before.
I've never either.
The circle around the entire moon.
No, this was away from the. There were some clouds passing through the moon, so I'm thinking that's what caused it. Karen went all scientific on me because she's a science teacher, and she was explaining to me why it was doing that. Because I was like, that is weird. That's awesome. I got a picture on my phone. Beautiful. But the moon was out last night, and we watched. I think we watched Life, Eddie Murphy, a comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Great movie.
That's hilarious.
You're sitting in this thing for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's great.
Oh,
What
yeah.
temperature?
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Yeah. When I get in, I don't want to get out because I don't want. When you get out of it, you got to kind of get in the elements. But we put our robes on. But man, once I'm in it, I don't want to get out.
Yeah.
And we were in it. We were in it all this weekend, probably the last 5 nights. And Karen, she'll have her, a sip of wine or two, and she'll get sleepy, and she'll want to go in. But I just want to sit there and listen to music or watch TV, and
Yeah. What temperature?
She likes it at about 98,
Okay.
99.
Yeah, you can. I was going to say if you were sitting in there for an hour and a half at 104, I don't.
Oh no,
think
you
that's
cannot do it. No, that's what happened to us last April, and that's why we really didn't start enjoying it until this year, because last year when we first got it, I didn't know anything about a hot tub. And we had it set on 100, 101, 102, and it would get so hot that Karen would be like, I've got to go inside and go to bed. I'm sleepy.
Right.
Because you're just so relaxed.
Yeah, that's kind of the medicinal.
But we've kind of figured out the balance, about 98,
Right.
99 degrees. Unless it's really, really snap cold outside, then I wanted about 100, 101, because that gets that mist coming off of the water. It is.
We do. I would do 102, and I've gotten to where I just do 104, and I sit in for a lot shorter time. It's more like a therapy thing that helping you sleep.
Yep. And the best night's sleep. Oh my God! After getting in there and coming out, you're so relaxed that you're just right to sleep.
Everybody says that. I mean, everybody that uses them at that at that higher temperatures definitely says that.
Yeah.
So
You're up, Jake.
I feel like I'm doing mine wrong.
So you know what? If
tell
you're
us.
enjoying it, if you're passionate about it, I don't know that you can do it wrong. Really.
I do it every morning.
Okay.
I wake up real early. I get in the hot tub, and it's in there 104 for about 45 to an hour.
Okay.
Right before the workout, hit the workout, and then do my thing in the morning. But
I may have to try that. I've never done it. In the
So
morning.
that's kind of almost in tune with your sauna and chill experience. You need to add a chill tub to it all, or just a cold hose.
Yeah, we did a one of the, I don't know if you'd call it a podcast, because we were running around in the store there. We did that last week, where I just basically did my routine, my morning routine, which was consist of 5 minutes in the hot tub at 104, and then exercise, which I did burpees, like push-up burpees with a jump at the end with 15-pound dumbbells, like I called it old man burpees, but it didn't take me about 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 40 minutes, probably about 5
He
minutes.
did 3, and then he had me just loop the video for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just
Cheating.
kidding. I'm joking.
And anyway, so I got my blood, I got to where I was sweating, and I got my blood pumping. I got in the sauna, and then I got in the chill. But in the meantime, between the sauna, when I was all sweaty, I went and hosed myself off. That didn't show up on the podcast for technical difficulties or whatever. But then I went and got in the chill tub, because I didn't want to get my sweat in the chill. And I did that same thing this morning. So it was amazing. So I'll use mine in the morning, but I'll also use it at night, because I got this little triangle of stress in my back right there, and I'll just sit in there, and I'll let the jets run for a little bit, and I'll sit in the absolute quiet. But so now you're saying sit in it, and I've noticed that when I sit in it in the morning for 4 or 5 minutes, then if I go get on the treadmill, my muscles are already warmed up.
Don't go stretch.
And so it takes a lot less time to get a sweat going, because you really kind of already are kind of sweating especially if you're sitting in it that long. And then and that's your routine is every day and every morning.
Yep.
Before you
Every
work
morning,
out.
about 4 o'clock. Hop
Okay.
in the tub, hop out about 5.
I got you.
I'm gonna have to try the morning time. I
It's
didn't even
much
think
better.
about that. Starting your day with it.
Now, where's yours at?
Right out the back door of the basement. It's probably 15 feet from the back door. I don't like it far away though. I've delivered a lot of them far away. I try to convince them as close to the house because
I agree.
when it's 10 degrees outside, you don't want to go from 100 degrees
Yeah.
running.
Well, it's our back door is probably 10 feet from the hot tub, 10,
that's
15
perfect.
feet. So it's perfect distance.
But you go out there and come back home naked. Some people do, and no, falling down naked and having
that would be-
cameras on them. I don't do mine naked. That's kind of gross, but some people do.
That'd be yeah. I can't believe people do that naked. You, Chaco?
What,
My
do
wife does.
hot tubs
No joke.
naked?
Outside.
Why,
Inside,
why
maybe.
would that be gross? Yeah, I mean you're naked under your shorts anyway.
I know that, but like I guess
I mean,
it's
it would be
just-
gross if you come in from a hard, hot day's work and all
That's
sweaty
true.
and jumped in it. But
That's
yeah,
true.
we use ours in our birthday suits. For
Your
sure.
birthday suit?
Karen more than I do. Karen, yeah.
You covered up, like you got a fence around it. You got a fence around it.
Yeah, there's a fence around our pool area.
My neighbor's got binoculars for real.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, if you're exposed to.
We have a privacy fence too,
Yeah.
but we got a neighbor with binoculars for real.
Oh wow.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
definitely
Then
real.
yeah, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, definitely swimsuit. So you don't use it at night though, much, really.
Maybe 5
That makes a
times.
difference too. Be harder to see you in the backyard if
Yeah,
it was dark out.
it is dark out at 4, but
Well, that's true right now. Yeah.
but it's just we've seen them at early in the morning. It don't matter.
Right.
But I've done it only 5 or 6 times at night. It just doesn't hit.
So do you ever? So if you were to not do it, you may not ever not do it. But what is the? Have you ever just not done it and then went straight to the workout, or went to work without doing any of your routine? And what is the difference?
You might ask like my helper or something. He could probably tell you the days that I don't hot tub.
Yeah.
He's just I'm more tight for sure.
Right.
Like working physically, everybody knows your knees, your elbows, everything starts to hurt. And I mean, Rich coming from me, 25, but everything starts to hurt. So whenever you don't hot tub after hot tubbing for 3 years consecutive,
Right.
the guy that you work with knows.
Yeah.
He knows when your knees hurt or when your hips are tight or like your lower back is tweaked a little bit. He gets it.
I have a hot tub experience from probably 20 years ago when I was younger, much younger, 20 years, as a matter of fact. Out in Colorado, me and some buddies would go skiing. And at the end of the day, and like a lot of the people, the wealthy people, they'll go and they'll ski, they'll do 2 or 3 runs and they get to go all the time, but and so it's not a big deal. But we were just hardcore. Like we saved money. We'd go out there and then we would ski from the opening bell to the closing bell, and we'd go hard all day long. Of course, we were cold, but your body warms up when you're skiing, so it's a little bit of cold, but a lot of effort. And I remember going in, and as soon as you get still, you start to get kind of stove up, we call it, and so you come in, you take your clothes off, and you put your swimsuit on, and you're just kind of getting through that it's kind of like that distance that you got to go to use it. You kind of start doing some self-talk, like, do I really want to mess with that? Well, we went down and got in the hot tub, all just totally beat up. And then when we got out of the hot tub, we raced back to the room because we were so loose and everything. It got rid of all that pain from the day. Of course, when we got back to the room, my heart rate was like 200 because my blood vessels were dilated or what. And but that's one of my great memories. Of course, there's also in that climate, it's cold and it's snowing and you've got the icicles on your hair, icicle hair, don't care, And
What about the next day? I would think that the next day after a workout, we're real early in January, and of course everybody I'm like, all right, I got to get back on the stick.
This is your year.
I've taken off the November, December holidays and everything, and I'm tight, and I got to start working out again. So I'm missing that I don't have a hot tub right now. I used to work out, had a hot tub workout, and then you the next day it does warm you up and kind of gets rid of all that stiffness and soreness. I don't have that right now, so I'm moving slow in the mornings until I at least get my body back used to the same level of intensity.
Well, you know that burpee thing we did the other day?
Oh yeah.
I could feel that night that I was going to be sore. And if you feel that night you're going to be sore, you can imagine what it's going to be like 2 days. Because at my age, the second day is the worst day. But I was absolutely smoked after doing that thing the other day because I hadn't done it. And of course, when you're being, I don't work out at a gym. I work out at home. If I worked out at a gym, I'd probably kill myself because people are around. I don't want people to see me doing like being weak or a wuss or anything like that. So I feel like I had that camera on me and I was doing a little bit more than I normally would. And of course, burpees are just absolute
no
hell
joke.
anyway, after you do about 10 of them. And especially, I did a push-up every time and I had 15 pounds, not a lot of weight, but when you sit there and do it for 76 minutes like I did, 76 seconds or whatever. Yeah. And I was smoked. I was smoked 2 days after that.
Yeah, it still hits you. And even if you work out all the time and then you change up and you start doing something that you're not used to doing, you get sore in those muscles that you don't use all the time. So,
but yeah, that workout routine, that's good. That's good info right there. I was just doing it because it's like that part of putting off working out, I guess, a little bit. You get to sit there and chill. Do you know in the summer? I don't use mine as much. And that first night back when you sink down in that water, in the fall, and you're looking out at the stars and the clouds and the sky, and you see, that whole at one with nature kind of zen moment that you haven't experienced in a while. I always think, man, and I've said this a million times, but if I think, man, if everybody would just do this once, and everybody would want one of these because
That's something that we did last spring in April when we first got the hot tub, and it just opened the pool. Of course, the pool water is like frigid. I mean, it's 62, 65, 67, below 70 degrees. But we would get in the hot tub at like 104, and so you're like smoked in there. I mean, it's like so hot. And we'd get out and jump in the pool, and that transition, and then jump back in that hot tub, that was kind of exhilarating.
I'll tell you that my chill. My back and forth and the chill
I'm assuming it's the same.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it is crazy amazing. Yeah, what you feel.
But I'm going to try the morning thing. I have yet to get in it early in the morning, and I usually wake up. I'm an elderly man now, 55, and my internal clock. I wake up every morning about 3:45 to 4 o'clock, and I just lay there. I need to be getting up and maybe getting on a treadmill or walking around the track at the high school or something. But I'm gonna, instead of just laying there dreading getting up, I'm probably gonna get up in the morning and go get in that hot tub, and maybe that'll motivate me to walk around that track at the high school.
Well, I tell you, when you do that, what you're doing is you're getting the blood flow to your brain, whether it's walking or sitting in the hot tub. And when you do that, your mind gets. My mind is, it's probably good that I don't directly email you or you in the morning because people know when I'm doing my thing.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah.
We've all heard.
I get those emails.
Yeah. Oh,
I get them all the time.
Yeah. He gets 4 or 5 in the morning when I'm exercising and doing my routine. Yeah. It's just what I do. And now it's part of my work. It's what I do and to get going. And it's like now I won't go back since I started doing it.
All right, Chaco. So I want your one piece of, before we wrap up here, your one piece of advice for, you said your recent hot tub, so it's new to you still kind of, last couple of years. What would you tell someone thinking about it that you maybe didn't know and you wish you had known? So what's your advice?
I'm still learning. I mean, I'm not even a year into this, and there's still stuff that I don't know. But what was your question again? What would I recommend to someone?
Well, yeah. Look, what's one thing you wish you would have known, or a piece of advice to someone considering a hot tub?
I just
not to put you on the spot here.
You're putting me on the spot. it's just it's a very very therapeutic. Again, second thoughts. I mean, we had a pool. We really didn't need it. Always wanted one, and now that we have reaped the benefits of having one, the relaxation, time spent with my wife. I mean, that's when usually it's just me and her in it. The kids are all out of the house. Our daughter, she doesn't even hardly get in the pool. Livy doesn't like swimming that much, so it's kind of just me and Karen, or maybe friends, and we just kind of like hanging out there. It's a
Maybe you wouldn't have put it off as long.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of a bonding moment for me and my wife. It brings you, we have time together. Whereas opposed to us just sitting on the couch watching Dateline episodes and murder mysteries.
Well, now I feel
and true
attacked.
crime. Now we watch true crime from the hot tub, and actually we've kind of transitioned from we've seen all the 48 hours and Datelines. Now we'll get out there and watch a comedy and have a glass of wine and kind of cut up and stuff, and it's a good bonding experience for a husband and wife for sure. Absolutely.
And now you know that I put him on the spot first so that you could be preparing your spiel. Same question. You had all that time to prepare, listening to him.
Well, you said put it close to the house.
Yeah.
That's it. That's definitely one. As close to the house as you comfortably can from somebody who delivers them and works on them.
What about size? Was it size or particular feature? I mean, anything like that you like particularly about yours, or that you wish you might have had that you've seen on other hot tubs that you didn't get? Or
Okay, I've got a bad brand. You might wince at this, but I've got a Wellis. A Hot Springs is much better because it's got the double 30 or the double breakers 20 and 30 instead of a solid 50 going to it. What do you have?
I have the Hot Springs Flare.
Okay,
which one is the Flare? Is one of them's got the bench recliner in it, and the other one's like an 8-man. I have the one that's the 8-man, so it doesn't have the bench. I think it's the Flare,
But
or
it's
the
got a
Flash.
20-30.
I don't know, but with the little spillover.
but the service technician in him needs to know: do you have a 20 amp and a 30 amp breaker?
That's it. It's a 20-30 split. Yeah, salt. The salt.
Perfect.
So what happens?
So you can heat it while you're using the jets is the big thing.
Yeah.
On mine, I don't use the jets anyway. Whenever the jets come on, that's usually the time that I'm getting out because it's so loud and getting you in the face if you don't have a perfect water level. I prefer to just have it hot water that I'm sitting in.
Yeah, I do too.
And then you can do your thing, like watch your videos or whatever, and you don't got to have it turned up all the way. Anyhow, I prefer a 20-30. I've got a straight 50 though, so it only heats or the jets, not
both at the same time. Okay, yeah, I would not like that.
To explain that also, that he's talking about a 20 amp that will power some of the hot tub and a 30 amp that will power other parts of the hot tub.
Hot Springs or Watkins is the only one that does that. Do you know of any other ones that do that?
I don't, but do you know why they do that?
One of them, it does the heater system, like the circulation pump, the heater, salt system, or your IQ, anything that runs off your circulatory system. Then the other one is your jets and the rest of the tub.
And your circ pump too.
See,
right?
I thought
Right, with the heater, correct.
My understanding was that the 20-30 split because it was a salt. It was a salt system.
It's not
But that's got nothing to do with it.
Before salt systems were made, and this goes back to as long as I can remember. We've been a dealer for 35 years. Shows you how old I am, right? But it's my understanding that they put the circulation pump and the heater on separate breakers because heaters sometimes trip, and they'll trip a breaker. At least the olden days, when the heaters were a little more sensitive to, and they were directly in contact with water. And then if it's cold, there's probably 2 or 3 to 10 times the amount of hot tubs sold out west than up in the mountains. So if it's cold and your breaker trips, your circulation pump's still going, so you're not risking your hot tub in that situation. So that's one of those features that goes a long way in these cold spells when if an ice spell happens in your that you've got the you've got that continuous circulation.
Not to mention the heaters are better on a Watkins. I like a double barrel heater like you've got better than mine, where it's a straight heat, 2-inch barrel with a heating element in it.
And it don't take long to get it hot.
No, I don't.
It does not.
No, mine. I've got close to 600 gallons in it, and it takes a while to heat.
And it maintains the heat. Even like sitting in it for multiple hours. I mean, I'm impressed that it holds the heat in the water as long as it does.
On yours, it's because it's heating.
Yeah.
On mine, if I'm using the jets, it's going to cool down fast, and you can feel it because the ambient temperature is getting pulled into it. The colder it is at night, and you have that jet running, it's pulling in, and then you're also hurting the chemistry too. But that's a different thing.
No, I mean, it's part of the
Chemistry is a big thing. That
Yeah,
would
that's
be
what
a big one.
I'm
Talk
learning
about it.
that. I'm still like ignorant on the chemistry. I tell you what happened to us. Our water chemistry got off because I thought my salt cell was working and it wasn't. And Karen and I got in it, and we had a bad experience. We got broke out one time earlier this year, and come up here and come to find out my salt was off. What I had like 4,000 parts per million, 4,300 parts per million in salt, and Jay in service said, you're not even producing chlorine at that level. And so the salt system was sitting there inactive, and the water looked clear, and I wasn't checking it like I lesson learned. Now I'm checking my water chemistry regularly like I do on my pool. I just assume like a lot of pool owners do. You get a pool and then, hey, you got a pool. Yeah, that's it. But
takes care of itself.
It's kind of like having a 3-year-old kid in your backyard. I mean, you got to give it a drink of water every once in a while. You got to feed it every once in a while. You got to look after it every. Can't just let it run. And that's when I'm giving somebody a pool school, that's what I tell them. You got a pool now. That's part of it. It's kind of like having a child in your backyard. You need to be paying attention to what's going on.
Never heard that before, but I like it.
Yeah.
Good point.
But I'm learning that with the hot tub. I've got this nailed down in my pool. I got that down to a science, but this hot tub thing's a little different because it's hot water and it's.
We've got videos that we just recorded not too long ago that you could have watched that where Brad talks about clear water doesn't necessarily mean that your pH and everything is perfect and all that.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
And there's also a scenario that you run if you think of 4 people in 400 gallons of water, then how many people in 40,000 gallons of water? So if you imagine, trying to think, is it 400? See, 400 times 100.
So it would be 40,000.
So it's like if you had a 40,000 gallon pool, it'd be like 400 people being in a 40,000 gallon pool.
Yeah.
So can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's
or
a
let's
different
just say
world.
3 people in a 300 gallon spa is like 300 people in a 20 by 40. Does that give you any kind of idea of the importance of the? Yeah,
we didn't announce that there was going to be math, so
right.
Yeah,
we both failed. I couldn't even remember it, and I've said that multiple times. So
and I'm trying to figure it out. I guess
Yeah, I couldn't do my gazentas quick enough.
Right. So before we let these guys go, Jake came from 2 hours away, and I probably should have mentioned this before. But if there's a customer out there that's deciding what they're convinced now that they need a hot tub. Tell us about your job and where the company that you work for, as to just what would make. Why is this a good place to work? Is it a good place to work? We can edit it out if it's not, but tell the company what it's like to work here and what we believe and how we take care of our people.
I come from a background of working in factories all my life. I mean, Goodyear Tire and Rubber, Superior Fireplace before that, and it's a very demanding job. Okay, and you get no attaboys at all. You just get a paycheck. this is the first, what's the old saying? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's what it's like to work for this company. This is hands down the best job, my favorite job I've ever had. I get to experience something different every day. I get to see something different every day. And it's very exciting. Now, sometimes those things that I see every day are maybe anxious or upset or, apprehensive customers, agitated customers, and happy, very, very rewarding job getting to go out and see what we do, see what we build for people, see what we bring into people's lives and the excitement. Because at the end of the day, when you meet those anxious customers or those apprehensive customers or those customers that are ready for their pool to be finished, when you start that experience with them, it's kind of tense. But at the end of the day, when you look at that finished product and you see the look on the wife's face, or the husband who didn't want to be paying for this at the beginning of it, or the children, I mean, it's just extremely rewarding, very rewarding. And I just absolutely love it. I can't say enough about it. I love my job. I love working for this company. Highly recommend it to anyone.
Well, glad you think so. You get to keep your job now that you answered it so well.
And now you're up, Jake.
Yeah, what would you say to somebody that's thinking about finding a place to buy a pool or hot tub from, and what as far as how we care for people, or do we care for people, and what do you think about your job here?
I'd like to start by saying I started here being nothing. Like, I came from high school working for you guys, not knowing anybody, like, especially here, because I don't work with any of the brass in Jonesboro. It's just us, basically. I had Corey, if you could consider him brass. That was the closest thing to Union City that I was working with at the time. And this was really just about the only company that gave just some inexperienced guy or kid that didn't know anything from anything a job that gave responsibility. And it might have been a lack of responsibility at the time, but I was put into a position where I was able to step up. And I feel like that speaks a lot to you guys, the character of the company, because like, you had no idea that I was gonna like turn out to be responsible or like dependable. Because I don't know if you remember the couple of friends of mine that was working here before me, and they turned out not good.
They're gone.
They're gone. They don't work here, and they've not worked here in a while. And it's not something about them or about you guys. It's just about, or about me. It's just about Aloha as a whole. It was, you guys were able to straighten out just some nobody into like a leg of the Jonesboro table, almost. And like in 2021, Josh and I had kind of started the Google reviews. Like, we weren't really super focused on that. And then Karen Tosh was a big one in Jonesboro, where Dustin sold her stealth, and it was a Rocky thing. And then now she's one of our favorite customers. Like, she's the number one, not the number, she's a VIP.
Right.
But she was scary to everybody. And it's just the opportunity that we were given to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where we're not forced into a mold of we're not in a mold of you. We're our own person that's able to blossom into the people that you need us to be.
Yeah.
Type thing. Like,
Absolutely.
That's good, man. You've always had it in you, though. I mean, you can't just pull that out of somebody that doesn't have it inside.
That's true, but at the same time, like if I was at some other place, I might not have gotten the same positions that I could have here.
Yeah.
Like, it could have taken till I was 35 instead of 20 something.
Right.
To get to where I needed to be, to where I can build a stable thing here with you guys.
How long have you been with Aloha?
5 years, going on 6.
Okay.
which is a fifth of my life, by the way.
Well, we're shooting for half.
I'm shooting for him.
Well, I have to say that I appreciate you guys for volunteering to get on here, and we are what we are because of people like you guys, and I'm fully aware of that. And I try to hopefully you know that I appreciate you, and appreciate you coming and doing this. Not everybody's comfortable talking on a microphone. I don't know, after the Christmas party, though, I'm pretty sure that not only is he comfortable talking, but he's comfortable singing. Cover Me Up was his go-to at the Christmas party. And we didn't have karaoke. We just had a band. He went and took the microphone. And I've got video. And he was like, yeah, I did all right. You did great.
So on that note, Chaco, sing us out. No, I'm totally. Go ahead.
You'll have to wait for the next party for that.
There you go. I can promise you he'll do it again.
Yeah. We'll get the band in here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us on another Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive podcast. And we'll see you next week, next Friday.
And what do we say?
Oh, yeah. Dive safely.
That's it.